Was that a Pinocchio?
1-1, Scott to right. Deep and gone!
Sanchez, pitch went deep to left field, going back, Gurriel looking up, see ya! A 2-run home run for Sanchez, and the Yankees lead 2-1.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Between the Lines, the official baseball show of the Sports 2.0 Network and BaseballSpotlight.com. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. I am Tanner Kern, as usual, and this show is dedicated to all things baseball. Got a great show for you tonight, as usual. Never going to say I have a bad show. It's always entertaining here at Between the Lines. So make sure you subscribe to the Sports 2.0 Network before we get into the good stuff of this show tonight. We got a lot of great video content. We have 37 live shows this week. It's pretty miraculous what the Sports 2.0 Network has grown to in such a short time. So make sure you subscribe. We had multiple new shows today, including 2.0 Takes, which is our take on an elimination-style debate show. So definitely go check that out. All those replays are available on YouTube right now. So let's get into it. What do you think my opening monologue is going to be about tonight? Let me know in the comments. Anyone? No? Everyone can guess what my opening monologue is going to be about tonight. The Red Sox deliver the knockout blow to the New York Yankees on Sunday night. Now, we put a poll on our Twitter, on the Sports 2.0 Network's Twitter account, saying, does anyone think the Red Sox are going to take 2 of 3 games from the Yankees this weekend? More people said the Yankees were going to win this series. Now, if you've looked at the tabloids, if you looked at the headlines, if you turned on ESPN, hell, if you turned on Disney Channel, they're covering this. The New York Yankees lost 3 games this weekend. They were swept by the Boston Red Sox. Scores from the weekend: 5-2, 7-3, and then 6-5 on Sunday night on ESPN Baseball. Alex Rodriguez was calling the game as his former team finally got swept, as the Yankees lose, according to David Ortiz. That's my take on David Ortiz's accent. It's not very good, if you could tell. But that's a little David Ortiz joke right there. So anyways, back to the Yankees and the Red Sox, the current Yankees and the Red Sox. 5-2 on Friday, 7-3 on Saturday, 6-5 on Sunday. The 5-2 game, the Yankees just did not show up, in my opinion. They didn't show any grit. The Saturday game, 7-3 is a blowout, but it slipped away from them in the late innings. The Red Sox had a big 8th inning. That got them going, and that's why they were able to win 7-3. Now, the Sunday game, this is one that New York had to win. They were in it to win it from the minute the game started to the very end. 6-5 in 10 innings. They have to be better than they were. They come back. They mount a massive comeback. They get the lead. It goes into extra innings, and then the Red Sox deliver in extras. Yankees just did not look like they wanted to play baseball this weekend. That's the problem with this team. That's the problem with New York right now. They're not acting like this is the Boston Red Sox. This is one of the biggest rivalries in baseball. If you look at any list of top rivalries in sports on the internet, top rivalries in baseball, the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees are going to be at the top of the list 100% of the time. It's embarrassing that the Yankees did not show up to play. And I like the Red Sox. I like the Red Sox over the Yankees any day of the week. Now, believe me, do I like the Savages? Do I like watching bombs being hit out of the Bronx? Yeah, because I'm a baseball fan. But the Yankees just did not look like they wanted to show up at all this weekend, and that was unfortunate. Here's a clip from not Cedric Mullins. Here's a clip from the Sunday night game right away. Alex Verdugo setting the pace for the Red Sox, going yard off Domingo Germán, giving a little fastball, 91-mile-an-hour shot. That ball was begging to be murdered. Domingo Germán, that ball was begging to be murdered. 91 up in the middle of the zone. Are you kidding me? Talk about missing a spot. Jeez. So whatever. Alex Verdugo hammers that ball. He is the centerpiece of the Boston Red Sox. No doubt in anyone's mind. He's the centerpiece of the Boston Red Sox. Ever since he came over from LA, he's made a big, big statement there. It's great to see. I'm a big Dougie guy. I have been since he was in LA, and it's not fading. I'm becoming more of a fan of his in Boston. So anyways, the Yankees, not a good weekend for them. Now, they're 31-29. They're 6.5 games back in the American League East. That's not a lot. In baseball, that's really not a lot. This division is still tight, just like most divisions in baseball right now, unless you're the, I don't know, maybe the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are terrible. But anyways, in the American League East, everything is pretty close. The Orioles, yeah, forget about them too. They suck as well, except for Cedric Mullins, who decided one day to be the best player in baseball. They could get 3 All-Stars this year. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the Yankees, 31-29, fourth place, 6.5 games back in the American League East. So what does this mean for the New York Yankees? Are they going to make the playoffs? This is a question that we can begin to ask ourselves. We're 2 months into the season. Okay, 2 months. It's a decent amount of time. It's a realistic amount of time where we can make a accurate judgment about a team. Can a lot happen in the next 4 months of the season? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, a lot can happen. But are the Yankees really going to make the playoffs right now? The way this Yankees team looks right now, it's not just the talent. I mean, they're not hitting the ball right now. They look like one of the worst hitting teams in baseball. They're home run hitters that can't seem to hit a home run, and they sure as hell can't hit a single. But when we look at the New York Yankees, are they really going to make the playoffs? Does this Yankees team look like a team that has a little grit? Does this team look like Boone's old Savages? Now, I'll tell you what, Aaron Boone's ass is gone at the end of the season. There's no doubt about it. Whether the Yankees go to the playoffs or not, whether they win the American League East or not. If we think back to Joe Girardi when he got fired from the Yankees, Joe Girardi took this team to the playoffs consistently. He just never won the big one. Joe Girardi got fired in a year after he took them to the American League Championship Series and lost to the Houston Astros, who were cheating. Joe Girardi has done a lot better than Aaron Boone right now. And Boone's got a good team. Boone has a good team. They're just not living up to the hype. Of course, you got Garrett Cole. There's your one guaranteed win every week. But the thing about the Yankees is they are underperforming. And this team, the mentality that I'm seeing in the Bronx consistently, is not going to make the playoffs. And I hate to say that because the Yankees were my pick to win the World Series this year. I said the Yankees were going to run through the American League East. They're going to roll through the Boston Red Sox. The American League East, who is good in the American League East? The Tampa Bay Rays? That's what I thought, but the Rays are actually pretty good. And that's the thing about sports. Anything can happen. We never know. And the Yankees are just not living up to the hype. They're in serious jeopardy of finishing in fourth place in the American League East. When the Blue Jays start to get a little more healthy and they figure it out, the Blue Jays are young. We see it. They make errors a lot. They make mental errors a lot. But when Vladdy, Bo Bichette, Kevin Biggio, when we get George Springer back in the lineup, Blue Jays that's a team that you want to look out for. Yours Gurriel. I mean, these guys, they have so many good guys. They just need to figure out as a team. And when they figure it out, the Blue Jays are 6 games back. The Yankees are 6.5 games back. The Blue Jays could start inching closer to the first, and the Yankees could start going the other way. There's my monologue for the night. Yankees, figure it out, man. Figure it out. So let's get into the MLB Power Rankings. If you couldn't imagine, the New York Yankees will not be in the MLB Power Rankings this week. They had a pretty rough time, if you couldn't imagine. So let's get right into it. Tampa Bay Rays. Now, I have a little blurb about every team. Tampa Bay Rays better than expected. That's what I can say about them. Do they deserve to be the number one team? Yeah, the way they've been playing, probably. But here's the thing. Tampa Bay is not good on paper. They're not, but they're playing a lot better than they are. They're hitting the ball. This is a team that we looked at in the beginning of the season. We said, okay, Tampa Bay is going to be a team that wins with pitching. And as you can see there, guess who the cover boy of the MLB Power Rankings is this week? Rich Hill. I shouldn't call him a boy. This guy's a man. He's almost at the end of his career. He's 41 years old. He's pitching like one of the best pitchers in baseball. But most consistent. I shouldn't say best. Best is reserved for a few names like Garrett Cole and Jacob deGrom. But when we look at Rich Hill, what he's done with this team, he's been amazing. But it hasn't been the pitching that has really been the headlining part of the Tampa Bay Rays. It's been their hitting. They have the third highest run differential in baseball. So I guess that's a credit to both teams at plus 75. At plus 75. They're only behind the White Sox right now. And Austin Meadows is leading the league with 39 RBIs. Austin Meadows has been a big part of this offense, but everyone has chipped in at a certain time this year for the Tampa Bay Rays. And it has been great to see for them. I don't know. Will they be first place at the end of the season? Who knows? But Rays look pretty damn good right now. So I'm not going to argue with that. I think they deserve to be top the power rankings. Would I put another team ahead of them? Not right now. Not the way what happened in the National League West this week. And I sure as hell wouldn't put the number 2 spot ahead of them. The Chicago White Sox who play in the Cupcake Central Division. The American League Central is horrendous. Why are the White? I mean, I know we got to put power rankings. Power rankings don't matter at all. I hate power rankings so much. I refuse to write one for BaseballSpotlight.com because I hate them so much. Because here's the thing. Yes, the 10 teams in the front are the contenders, but we don't know. We don't know if Tampa Bay is better than Chicago. I mean, and if they do play each other, what's a 3-game series going to tell us, or 6 games over the season? We don't know if LA is better than Tampa Bay. We don't know. So why are we doing these power rankings? It's just, I don't know. But done with my rant there. White Sox, Cupcake Central Division champions. That's what they're going to be this year. Tony La Russa is going to lead them to a Cupcake championship. They have the 29th ranked schedule in baseball in terms of strength of schedule. 29th easiest schedule in baseball. You know how many teams are in the league? 30. So you're telling me the White Sox, they should be in first place. They should be better than first place. You're playing the 29th ranked schedule in baseball? Okay, good. They've won 10 of their past 14 games, and during that stretch, pitching has been a 2.75 ERA. The bullpen's been strong. Great. But here's the thing. They play in the Cupcake Central Division. They have the 29th ranked schedule in baseball. Easiest schedule in baseball. Well, no, the White Sox aren't. I don't care if they have the Yerminator. I don't care. The White Sox aren't good. Or they won't be good down the stretch. They're going to get beat in the American League. I don't know who's going to do it because the Yankees sure as hell aren't going to rise to the occasion. But they play in the Cupcake Central. Nobody cares about the American League Central. Cupcake Central. That's my new name. I coined that. I call T-shirt rights. That will be on a T-shirt on our store very soon. No one else take that. Then you got the San Diego Padres. Rough week for the Padres. Swept by the Cubs. They split a series with the Mets. But they did face DeGrom. So when you think about splitting a series with the Mets, yeah, they faced DeGrom. They also faced Mickey Mouse Stroman over there. So they faced tough pitching. But when you face DeGrom, I don't really classify that as losing to the Mets. You lost to DeGrom. You did not lose to the Mets. I know that the Mets did beat them 4-0 that night, but you didn't lose to New York. You lost to Jacob DeGrom. Let's separate these two entities, please, because the Mets are tarnishing the name Jacob DeGrom right now. So we're going to separate them. They lost to DeGrom. They didn't lose to the Mets. In fourth, Los Angeles Dodgers. It's cakewalk time. I don't mean they play a cakewalk schedule. I mean they're getting into a schedule like the White Sox had every day. Are you ready for this? They'll play Pittsburgh on Tuesday for 3 games. They'll head home. They'll play the Rangers. Okay, we got Pittsburgh and we got Texas. Oh Lord. Dodgers. They better Texas and Pittsburgh. They just better watch out. They're going to get an ass kicking. Then you got 3 game set with the Phillies, and then the Dodgers will head home and go to Arizona. So you got Texas, Philadelphia, Arizona, and Arizona, and Pittsburgh. That's a lot of wins right there. And then after this, they conclude with a nice trip to Petco Park to play the San Diego Padres, which is the World Series. I mean, we should just throw it all aside and say the Dodgers and the Padres. I know they're both in the National League, but they should play for the World Series. That's what we should do, honestly, because those are the 3 games. It's whatever 6 games they played against each other, 7 games. That's been the most fun I've had watching baseball all year. So cakewalk time for the Dodgers. Again, not to be confused with a cakewalk schedule like the Chicago White Sox play. They play in the Cakewalk Central Division. Then finally, San Francisco Giants. They're here because they're winning. On paper, are they good? No, not really, but they're pitching very well. They've won 9 of their past 12 games. You got Evan Longoria. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. He has been a huge part of their offense. The veteran third baseman had 9 home runs and an .892 on-base plus slugging before heading to the injured list. Speaking of the Rays, Evan Longoria is the best player to ever wear a Rays uniform, which is sad to say, but it's true. Evan Longoria being out is really going to hurt them. Pitching's going to have to step up, but hey, that's baseball. It's a team game. Giants have won 9 of their past 12. They do deserve to be in the top 5, but am I sold on them? No. But am I sold on the Rays and Rich Hill? No, I'm not either. It takes more than a decent stretch. I want to see it prolong. It's hard to do what they've done. I'm not going to lie. They've won a lot of games in the past 3-4 weeks. But here's the thing. On paper, team strength wins on paper in October. That's another T-shirt line. I'm going to put that on as well. All right, so let's get into the 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 teams. Not that I would say in the power rankings right now, the top 12 teams matter. The New York Yankees and the New York Mets are on the outside looking in at 11 and 12. They are relevant still. I know the Yankees suck, but they are relevant. We can't forget about them. The Red Sox, I think the Red Sox should be a little higher coming off a sweep of the New York Yankees. I know the New York Yankees are nothing in baseball right now, but still, they went to the Bronx. They went to a hostile environment. It probably wasn't hostile because everyone left the stadium because nobody wanted to watch the Yankees suck. But the Red Sox did something pretty special this weekend, going to take the first 3 games on the road from the Bronx Bombers when no one thought they were going to. The A's, you got to watch out for them. Astros, I think the Astros are honestly the most underrated team in baseball right now, and they are dangerous. They are dangerous because they can hit the baseball, and offense wins games. They have good pitching. I mean, Zach Greinke's going 9 innings a week ago, and he's looked phenomenal. He's throwing 89 miles an hour fastballs. That doesn't usually win in the show, but Zach Greinke has found a way to make it work. He's been fantastic. He got the Cubs at 9. I'm not too worried about the Cubs. I do think they're going to trade some players at the deadline. I think they're going to look ahead to the future because they could keep all their players and still maybe not win the National League Central. Or they could look ahead to the future and say, okay, we're going to go for the future. We're going to trade away our free agents like Javi Baez, Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant, Wilson Contreras. We're going to get rid of those guys. And then eventually we're going to get some prospects for them. And those guys are going to be a championship team eventually. But Chicago's ready to start rebuilding. I hope they do it before the deadline. That will open the door up in the National League Central for guess who? The Brew Crew. Okay, then we got the Blue Jays at 10. I already talked about them a little bit. Young, make a lot of mistakes, but they're going to be very good. They got to get healthy. They need a little more pitching. But Vladdy Guerrero Jr., I mean, I don't know. He went on a diet, but he's hitting bombs. He's hitting balls farther than he did when he was 300 pounds. I mean, Vladdy's been fantastic. Credit to him this year. Just very, very good swings out of him. His launch angle is still pretty low. It's still one of the flattest launch angles in baseball, but the ball is leaving the yard frequently. Line drive, just power. That's all that is. So let's get into some other news around the league, guys. Enhanced plan for foreign substances is being finalized. Rob Manfred, who does nothing for this game, he's a terrible commissioner. I'm just going to say it right now. That's my opinion. This is a free country. I can say what I want. And I think Rob Manfred is terrible at his job. But instead of worrying about how to get viewership, how to get people engaged in the game of baseball, I guess you could take this. It's going to improve hitting, so it could. But we're having an enhanced plan for foreign substances being finalized. This has been going on in the game for a long time. And I think he's trying to get credit from the outside. I think he's trying. Let me put up this picture here. I think he's trying to get credit from fans to say, oh, he's doing a good job. He's protecting the game. He's trying to get people to take pitching foreign substances like pine tar that they're using on their fingers as like the steroid era where, we got to turn everyone against these pitchers and we got to protect our league from these foreign substances and all that. But in the end of the day, I don't think anyone is going to care about this as much as like the steroid era. Now, allegedly, what pitchers do when they put this on their fingers, it gives them more of an advantage than a performance-enhancing drug, which I don't know if I believe that. But it gives them a grip on the baseball. The spin rates go up. As we saw this weekend, a lot of spin rates dropped because pitchers stopped using pine tar or whatever they're using on their fingers to get a grip on the baseball. And it showed. Hitting kind of went up maybe. Well, I think Trevor Bauer didn't have a good weekend. He was one of the pitchers that they were saying stopped using substances this weekend. But basically, all pitchers will be checked frequently during the game for foreign substances, 8 to 10 times per game. The suspension will be 10 days without pay. That's allegedly. They're still finalizing this plan, as I said before, so nobody knows what is actually going to come to fruition on this rule. But I want to show you this picture right here. Now, if you don't know who this is Craig Kimbrell, closer for the Chicago Cubs. I remember I was watching a game with Craig Kimbrell on the MLB TV app. Shout out to MLB TV. Please sponsor our show. And I was watching Craig Kimbrell pitch. And I saw this picture. I saw this on the television. I saw his hat with a big mark of pine tar, whatever that is. That could be Glooby Gone or so. Apparently they're using stuff that Olympic weightlifters are using to get strength on their hands. I don't know. But that's what he had on his hat, and the umpires didn't do anything. So now, do you really think just because they get a rule change, just because Rob Manfred says, oh, we got to check them 8 to 10 times a game, they're really going to enforce it that much? Yeah, obviously, don't come out with the big pine tar thing on your hat, big pine tar spot showing that you're doing that, gripping the baseball. But if these guys are discreet about it in some way, they're going to be able to get away with it. I don't know if they're going to do it or not. But hey, whatever. I just think this is the wrong thing to go after right now. I don't think we're looking at the big picture. We need to get viewership to the game. How are we going to get viewership? How are we going to drive viewership to the game? You got to do things like Trevor Bauer does, engage people through social media, engage people through video content. I don't think going after pitchers for foreign substances is the way to do it. Is it really going to improve hitting that much? Maybe. I don't think it will, but this is what Rob Manfred's been working on all season. So, hey, good for him. He finally got it done 2 months in. So I don't know why we didn't have this earlier in the season if you were really that committed to it, Rob Manfred. But hey, what are you going to do? So as you can see, Craig Kimbrell is one of those pitchers that likes to cheat. But, there's been other ways. Some pitchers have tried to hide it on their neck. Some try to hide it under the brim of their hat. Some try to hide it on their jersey if they have a dark colored jersey. It really all depends. But Craig Kimbrell, this was the ultimate FU to Major League Baseball by putting it right on the tip of his cap, tipping his cap to the home plate umpire and saying, here's my pine tar. Please come, say something about it. This has been going on in baseball for years. The umps are old school. Now, finally, we got 2 more things. When did Cedric Mullins become the best player in baseball? I don't know, because he was on fire this weekend. Here was one of Mullins' home run clips from earlier this weekend against the Cleveland Indians. Just a pretty swing. I mean, Mullins is on fire right now, and that's kind of amazing. He's going to be an all-star this year. He has 9 straight this weekend against Cleveland Indians, 9 straight at-bats with a hit. 9 straight at-bats with a hit. The ultimate record in Baltimore is 10, so he just missed it. But he was fantastic all weekend. He is leading the American League right now in hits, and he ranks 3rd in hitting with a 322 average and 8th in on-base plus slugging with a 923 average. Whatever Cedric Mullins doing, whatever the hitting coach in Baltimore is teaching Cedric Mullins, it's working because he has been sensational. Now, this leads us to the question, who is going to make the All-Star game from Baltimore? I know we're still 2 months away, but voting is going on right now. I will have an article on Baseball Spotlight this week discussing my All-Star ballot, so please go check that out in the next coming days. It'll be up. With Cedric Mullins, he's going to be an All-Star, no doubt about it. But Baltimore also has 2 other guys. John Means, who deserves to be an All-Star this year, and you got Trey Mancini, probably the best story of the year, coming back, fighting stage 3 colon cancer, battling through that, and becoming a reputable player this year. I mean, I wouldn't say he's lighting the world on fire, but he's batting 270 in that range, I believe. He's got a lot of home runs, got a lot of power, and he has been Baltimore's guy. And I think when you look at the All-Star game, you want to get the best players in the league, but you also want to get guys that have stories that also have done a lot for their individual franchise. And Trey Mancini has done that. So will Baltimore get 3 All-Stars this year? Will they get more than the New York Yankees? They could be tied. When I look at the Yankees, I look at Judge and Garrett Cole as a lock, obviously. Probably Judge and Garrett Cole for sure. I'm going to say Judge and Garrett Cole right now. You got to look at the pitching, obviously. Closer, they could get the closer in there. Who knows? But the Orioles could get just as many All-Stars as New York Yankees. So that's pretty embarrassing for New York because we know Baltimore's not really good at baseball. And then finally, in the saddest story, Jarrett Kelenic, who was the 6th-ranked prospect in all baseball, was called up to the show, and then now he is not in the show anymore. He was on an 11-game hitless streak. Yes, that's not the streak that you want to acquire as a hitter. He played 23 games. He had 88 at-bats. Just did not hit well. He slashed 118, 211, 235. So they're going to send him down to AAA. Hopefully he can do something. But this is, I don't know. I'm torn on this because I think at one side of the things, you got to let big league batters be successful. Or you got to let minor league hitters know that they can mess up in the show and not have any fear of being sent down. But when it gets to this point, you probably got to make the cut. 118, 211, 235. Had a few big games. He had 3 for 4 night with a lot of RBIs. He had a home run in that game, but just 8 hits total in 88 plate appearance. That's not going to cut it. So Kelenic will be sent down to the show. He'll be back up this year, I bet, by the end of the season. He just needs a little more time to develop. But big news out of Major League Baseball. I love watching Kelenic play, so it's going to be sad because I don't have minor league baseball television. I just have Major League Baseball television. So unfortunately, I'm not going to get to watch Kelenic much. I'm going to have to go through Twitter and MLB.com. But I will see him in the show very soon. So I wanted to share that with you guys as well. So that does it for tonight's episode of Between the Lines, guys. Thanks for watching. Connect with me on social at Tanner Kern on Instagram, at Tanner Kern _ on Twitter, and that's at Sports 2.0 Network on Twitter and Instagram. If you look there, you guys are all frequent listeners, watchers by now, but it's Sports 2.0 Network. It's 20 Network on Twitter and Instagram because they don't let you have periods in your handles. They got to get it together. We've sent them plenty of messages. But that does it for tonight's episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Please join me tomorrow morning for MLB Daily Picks, where I make my picks for the year. 99 games over 500 right now. Hopefully getting to 100 today. There's only 3 games on the slate, so probably we'll see. We'll see. It's possible. And then we have Parlay Power Hour now, where me and Grant Mitchell, another Sports 2.0 content creator, talk about our bets, our best parlay bets for the day at 11:30 on the 2.0 YouTube. So make sure you subscribe, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow for all of that good stuff. Thanks for watching tonight. Have a great night watching baseball. Talk to y'all tomorrow.
Was that a Pinocchio?
1-1, Scott to right. Deep and gone!
Sanchez, pitch went deep to